You're thousands of miles from land, surrounded by nothing but endless ocean. The horizon stretches in every direction, and your home is a massive steel fortress, the size of a skyscraper laid on its side. You live alongside 5,000 others in a place where privacy is almost non-existent, where the roar of jet engines is louder than thunder, and where every day is a test of endurance, discipline, and teamwork. This isn't science fiction. This is life aboard a United States Navy aircraft carrier, the most powerful symbol of American military strength. To the outside world, these ships look like floating airfields, launching and recovering jets in spectacular fashion. But inside, hidden behind steel walls and endless passageways, lies a city unlike any other. A city that never sleeps, packed with secrets, routines, and a way of life most people will never experience. Before we step inside this world, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to Know Our Forces. This is where we reveal the untold stories and hidden realities of military life. An aircraft carrier isn't just a ship, it's a mobile civilization. A Nimitz-class carrier, for example, is more than 1,000 feet long, taller than a 20-story building, and powered by 2 nuclear reactors that allow it to sail for decades without refueling. But what makes it remarkable is its population. When fully loaded with crew and air wing, a carrier holds between 5,000 and 6,000 people, roughly the size of a small American town. And just like a town, it needs everything: food, water, electricity, healthcare, entertainment, and law enforcement. The difference? This town can move 30 knots across the ocean while launching warplanes into combat. Walking through the narrow passageways, you'll find services that mirror a small city. A barber shop buzzing with clippers as hundreds of sailors line up for regulation haircuts. A post office sorting letters and packages from home. A chapel where chaplains hold services for every faith. And even a small TV station that broadcasts ship-wide announcements, entertainment, and morale-boosting shows. Every part of civilian life has to be replicated here, because once the ship leaves port, it's on its own for months. For most sailors, daily life starts in the berthing compartment. This is home, though home might be a generous word. Rows of triple-stacked bunk beds, or racks, line the space like a hive. Each rack is about the size of a coffin, just long enough to stretch out in, but not tall enough to sit upright. Privacy is a thin curtain you pull across the opening, and storage is limited to a small locker under your mattress. That's your entire personal space for the next several months. Dozens of sailors share the same compartment, with the constant sounds of snoring, alarms, and footsteps echoing through the room. The air smells faintly of detergent, boots, and sometimes jet fuel that drifts down from the flight deck. If you're lucky, your rack is in a quiet corner. If not, you might be right by the door where traffic never stops. Yet despite the cramped quarters, sailors learn to make these tiny racks their own. Photos of family are taped to the inside walls. Small fans hum to keep the air moving, and some tuck books or headphones in the narrow shelves. In a world where privacy doesn't exist, that little rectangle of space becomes a sanctuary. Feeding thousands of people every day is one of the greatest challenges on the ship. The galleys operate like massive industrial kitchens, running 24 hours a day to keep pace with rotating shifts. On average, they serve over 18,000 meals daily. Breakfast might mean scrambled eggs, pancakes, or oatmeal scooped from steaming trays. At lunch, sailors grab burgers, pasta, or sandwiches, while dinner could be tacos, chicken, or seafood. And then there are the legendary Steel Beach picnics, special cookouts on the flight deck where sailors get to enjoy barbecue under the open sky. But the biggest morale boosters are the small treats: soft-serve ice cream, stocked whenever possible, or chocolate milk cartons that disappear faster than anything else. On long deployments, even powdered lemonade becomes a taste of home. Supplies are replenished during underway replenishments, when supply ships pull alongside and helicopters ferry pallets of food, fuel, and mail across cables stretched between ships. Watching it happen feels like witnessing a delicate dance between giants. Living at sea is stressful, so carriers build in ways to keep sailors grounded. Gyms are scattered across the ship, filled with free weights, treadmills, and makeshift boxing areas. Staying fit is more than a pastime. It's essential for handling 12 to 16-hour shifts and the physical demands of shipboard life. There's a library for reading and studying, a chapel for quiet prayer, and a ship's store where sailors buy snacks, toiletries, and even Navy souvenirs. On some carriers, there's even a Starbucks-like coffee bar, where tired sailors line up for a caffeine boost before heading back to their stations. Entertainment comes in bursts. Movies are screened in a theater or streamed across the ship's closed-circuit TV. Sports fans catch games broadcast by satellite, while the morale team organizes karaoke nights, video game tournaments, and talent shows. In a world of routine, these moments of laughter and relaxation become lifelines. Carriers don't just sail with firepower, they sail with their own hospital. Deep inside the ship is a full medical facility, staffed with doctors, nurses, dentists, and mental health professionals. There's an operating room, recovery ward, X-ray machines, and even a pharmacy. If you break a bone, cut yourself on machinery, or develop a sudden illness, you're treated right there. Dental problems, eye exams, even counseling for stress and anxiety are all handled on board. Serious cases can be evacuated by helicopter, but the goal is to make the ship as self-sufficient as possible. In essence, it's a floating hospital that has to be ready for anything from a sprained ankle to a major surgery. Most people think of aircraft carriers as places for pilots, but the truth is that 90% of sailors never fly a jet. Their jobs are the hidden gears of the machine. Deep below deck, nuclear technicians monitor the ship's twin reactors, ensuring the entire city has power. Engineers maintain the plumbing, electrical systems, and propulsion. In the laundry, crews wash over 40,000 pounds of clothes and linens every week, working in steaming hot rooms filled with industrial washers. In the bakery, sailors knead dough and bake bread for thousands of meals, while supply clerks track and organize the endless flow of parts, tools, and consumables that keep the carrier running. Every sailor's role is vital. If even one part of the machine falters, whether it's the bakery, the water plant, or the power systems, the entire ship feels it. Daily life aboard a carrier is relentless. Sailors often work 12 to 16 hours a day. The most dramatic scenes happen on the flight deck, often called the most dangerous 4.5 acres in the world. Jets scream down the runway, slamming onto arresting wires that stop them in seconds, while crews in color-coded shirts guide, fuel, and rearm the aircraft. Every move is rehearsed, every gesture precise, because the margin for error is razor-thin. Below deck, life is a constant cycle of maintenance, drills, and cleaning. Sailors are trained to respond instantly to fires, flooding, or even enemy attacks. At night, the ship doesn't sleep. Different shifts keep the engines humming, the galleys cooking, and the radar screens glowing. This life is not easy. Sailors face months of isolation, cut off from family and the comforts of home. Birthdays, holidays, and milestones are missed. Communication is limited. Sometimes sailors wait weeks for a single email or letter. Privacy is almost non-existent, and noise is constant. From the clanging of pipes to the thunder of jet engines above, stress is high because everyone knows that carriers are high-value targets. Even sleep is a luxury. Sailors often nap in short bursts, grabbing rest whenever they can. Fatigue is part of the rhythm of life, and yet, despite the challenges, many sailors describe carrier life as unforgettable. They speak of friendships forged in cramped berthings, the pride of launching jets into the sky, and the sense of being part of something far bigger than themselves. The hardships create bonds stronger than steel, and for many, the memories of shipboard life remain some of the most meaningful of their careers. So the next time you see an aircraft carrier on the news, don't just think of it as a giant warship. Think of it as a floating city, alive with thousands of men and women who sacrifice comfort, privacy, and time with loved ones to keep it running. It's more than steel and firepower. It's a human story of endurance, sacrifice, and pride. If you enjoyed this deep dive into carrier life, hit that like button and subscribe to Know Our Forces. We've got more hidden stories coming your way, from submarines patrolling in silence to special forces operating in the shadows. And trust me, you won't want to miss them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.